Welcome, curious minds. Today, we're delving into the depths of our world, into dark, hidden spaces that have safeguarded some of the strangest, most mysterious treasures for centuries, if not millennia. From cities buried by cataclysm to artifacts left by ancient civilizations, the ground beneath us has many secrets. Get ready as we count down the top 15 strangest things found underground. Mithraeum Temple in Rome. Our countdown begins with the mysterious Mithraeum Temple in Rome. Picture this: the year is around 200 AD, and followers of a secret cult gather in the dimly lit, underground sanctuary, deep within the ancient city of Rome. This temple, dedicated to the god Mithras, was only discovered in the 1930s when workers, digging beneath modern Rome, stumbled upon an underground shrine. The Mithraeum is a relic of an ancient, enigmatic religion that rivaled early Christianity. Mithraism, as the practice was called, was shrouded in secrecy, known only to its followers. The centerpiece of the Mithraeum is a stunning relief showing Mithras slaying a bull, a scene central to the Mithraic ritual. Artifacts found inside suggest that only men were allowed into this underground temple, making it a men-only cult, so to speak. But perhaps the strangest part of the Mithraeum is the mystery surrounding it. We still don't know why the cult eventually vanished, leaving these cryptic spaces behind. Was it a natural decline, or something more sinister? Only the walls of the Mithraeum know for sure. Imagine walking into a long-forgotten quarry in France, only to find rows upon rows of vintage cars, perfectly preserved in time. These are no ordinary cars. From old Citroëns to Renaults, each vehicle tells a story from World War II. It's as if the drivers left in haste, never to return. Discovered in the early 2000s, this underground car graveyard dates back to the early days of World War II. To protect their beloved vehicles from the advancing German army, French citizens drove their cars into quarries, hoping to retrieve them once the danger had passed. However, the cars remained hidden for decades, gathering dust and mystery. Why weren't they retrieved after the war? Some say their owners simply moved on or lost track of them in the chaos. But the result is a haunting scene: rusted, cobweb-covered relics sitting quietly in the dark, like a forgotten museum exhibit. For car enthusiasts, it's both a thrilling and heartbreaking sight, a testament to the resilience and tragedy of war. Number 13 on our list takes us to the cold plains of North Dakota, where miners made a startling discovery: the bones of a mammoth that roamed these lands over 10,000 years ago. The story began with a routine mining operation. As they dug deeper, they hit something unusual, and soon realized it was no ordinary rock. After careful excavation, they unearthed a partial skeleton of a mammoth, perfectly preserved in the icy ground. This discovery gave scientists an invaluable peek into North America's prehistoric past. Not only were they able to examine the mammoth's bones, but they also found traces of plants and pollen trapped with the skeleton, painting a vivid picture of what the Ice Age landscape might have looked like. What makes this find truly strange is the almost accidental way it was discovered. This ancient creature lay hidden beneath the ground, undisturbed, until modern machinery brought it back to light. A hidden reminder of a world long gone. World War II bomb in Augsburg, Germany. Next up is a discovery that shook a whole city, quite literally. In Augsburg, Germany, construction workers were digging near a residential area when they hit something metal. When they realized it was a bomb, a relic from World War II, they knew they had found a potentially deadly piece of history. This bomb, weighing over 3,000 pounds, had been lying dormant since the end of the war. The whole neighborhood was evacuated as bomb experts were called in to defuse it. Residents, many of whom had lived there their entire lives, were shocked to find out that such a dangerous relic had been lying right under their feet. For the people of Augsburg, it was a sobering reminder of the war's lingering scars. Even decades later, unexploded ordnance still threatens communities, a ghost of wartime horrors that can unexpectedly come back to life. During World War II, Nazi forces confiscated church bells across Europe, melting them down for metal. But one set of bells, hidden underground in Poland, survived this fate. Found by accident in the 1980s, these bells had been buried in haste by a local monk who wanted to protect them from the Nazis. When rediscovered, the bells were a powerful symbol of resilience and faith. They bore inscriptions in Latin, commemorating events and people long gone. The sound of these bells had once echoed through the village, calling people to prayer, but they had fallen silent for over 40 years. Once restored, the bells were returned to the church, where they now ring out once more, a poignant reminder of the past. This is one of the stranger examples of underground discoveries, a treasure not of gold or jewels, but of heritage and history, buried to keep the spirit of the community alive. In the mid-1800s, San Francisco was booming with gold fever, and the harbor was crowded with ships from around the world. When the gold rush subsided, many of these ships were abandoned, left to rot. But instead of disappearing, some were buried under the expanding city as land was filled in. Today, construction workers regularly discover these ships buried deep beneath the city. In one instance, they uncovered a 19th-century vessel, its wooden frame still remarkably intact. These ships were part of the very foundation of the city, an unintended yet fascinating glimpse into the gold rush era. The strangest part? Some of these vessels are so well preserved that you can almost imagine the crew boarding again, setting off on one last adventure. These buried ships are a hidden fleet, forgotten by history but still lying in wait. Kola Superdeep Borehole, Russia. In the 1970s, Soviet scientists undertook a project unlike any other, the Kola Superdeep Borehole. Their mission? To dig as deep as humanly possible into the Earth's crust. Over the years, they drilled down over 7.5 miles, reaching temperatures so high that the equipment started to melt. What they found along the way was fascinating: ancient fossils, mineral deposits, and even microscopic life forms. But the borehole itself became an object of legend. Some claimed it was so deep, they could hear the sounds of hell coming from within. Of course, these were just urban legends, but the hole remains the deepest man-made point on Earth. Today, the Kola borehole is sealed off, but it's a strange reminder of our desire to uncover Earth's deepest secrets, even if we're not quite prepared